grateful that you're here. We're going live for another Soulcare Live class and our future podcast episode. This will be another episode for the Thrive in Inner Peace podcast on Spotify. And today's guest is such a special, beautiful being. I am going to invite him on here. 1 second. Need to check if I can find him. Where are you? I am going to your account. Cannot
It hasn't
find you.
posted that you're live.
Hey. Also, I still hear you on the other account. I am live, and thank you everyone for being here. And now I see Joakim too. So I'm grateful for that. I need to make sure that I mute my own laptop. And now I see Joakim too. So because echoes are happening. Are we good? And now I see Joakim too. Because echoes are happening. Are we good? It's my own. I'm sorry. I need to check one more thing. I'm sorry. I need to check one more thing. All right. Now it should be better. Okay. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for being here. I'm going to invite you now, Joakim. Thanks for waiting. We're going live for another Soulcare Live class. Thank you, everyone, for being here. If it's working, it should be working. Yes. A bit of a technical hiccup there for 1 sec. There you are.
Yeah, I think I just need to turn the camera around. Let's see. Here.
Hi, thank you. Thanks so much for being here.
Also, thanks for having me.
I'm so grateful that you're willing to go along with this conversation on this Wednesday afternoon. And I'm grateful that you take your time out of your busy schedule. It goes for you, but also for everybody watching today. I saw some people coming up already. Hey, Sandra, thanks for being here, girl. And thanks for the love you're sending. And thank you, Romano. And also thank you, the boat, Frederick. Thanks, everyone. I'm grateful that you're here. Today, you're in for a treat, another Soulcare Live class, and it will also be recorded for our podcast called Thrive in Inner Peace. And if any moment during this conversation together with Joakim, you have any questions for him or me, or things that you'd like to share or that you resonate with, just feel free to type in any of your questions in the chat box below here. Yes, and we're here to answer them somewhere during the moments that we find some space for that. We don't take that lightly. We really appreciate you for being here and also for asking your questions. It takes courage to do so. So thank you for doing that. And before we dive into today's class, I'd just love to point out what today's topic is. And I'd love to introduce Joakim to all of you viewers and listeners. Because this really beautiful being, it touches my heart that you're here with us, and I'd love to give you a warm welcome. So today's topic is how to get clarity and confidence to make an income from investing, and also a step further from there on, take the leap to go into full-time entrepreneurship. And I believe Joakim is the teacher and expert to help you discover the answers to this topic. And just to give you a bit of an overview, and please fill in later on, Joakim, if I missed out on anything. But as I come to understand, is that you've been empowering entrepreneurs all around the globe for the past 2 years. And I know you a bit longer than that. I think you've even done that for a longer time. And you've been helping them creating that confidence and also helping them to build the skills to invest and also start building a full-time income with that. But not only that, you actually been doing this since your teens for yourself as well. So you have years of expertise, and you now are kind of you've been learning that from the best investors and traders in the world, but now you integrate it not only in your own life, but in your beautiful businesses that you co-found and have co-founded with someone else that is not on this call today, but that has also been working on alongside with you on founding Kaching Secrets, one of your businesses. And it's a beautiful, beautiful one that I'd love to, well, have you tell more about in a bit. And I just want to say to you that the way that you help others navigate and the drive that I see in you that you also shared with me before, but you have this drive to help others succeed, and you do it so with your heart so much. I can feel that through everything you do, and I love that so much. I'm so grateful that you're of true heart-based leadership here on this earth. And just checking in, did I miss out on anything that I have not shared now?
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Yeah, you're spot on. Thank you. And I really appreciate the invitation to come on here as well. So yeah, we together can inspire people, because that's what led me to this. I'm inspiring people in terms of empowering them with the confidence and skills to invest. And I'm so blessed to be introduced to investing by my dad during my teens. And I've been shown that investing is a great way to tap even more into the abundance in the world, like going traveling, which is something we did a lot with the family as I was a kid. And what I also saw is that there were particular investments that wiped out a lot of money. And I seen 10,000s of euros being lost. And as a result of that, I decided something had to change. And that's when I immersed myself in the topic, learning from people massively more successful than myself. And also on that journey, I met my business partner, and I'm grateful to have him as part of the business as well. And I started sharing the knowledge with my dad, because I love my dad. I shared it with some friends, and eventually, Bernie and me, we had clients as well. And then I was thinking about it, like, who needs this the most? And it brings me back to when I was about 10 years old. At that time, my mom and dad divorced, and it left my mom in a more financial, stressful situation. I remember times being at home and she wasn't always there, not because she doesn't love me, but she was out working 2 jobs to take care of my sister and me. And I can also remember times staying with my dad, and for example, during weekends, and he worked late afternoons and weekends to, also to provide. So I see like a lot of people, they work a lot harder instead of smarter. And for example, with my mom, I wish that she didn't have to go away to nurse other kids or to see after other parents' kids in the kindergarten, or she didn't have to nurse other people to be better. And when I was like home, climbing trees, falling down, scraping my knees, or that, that I had to wait for my dad always to finish up stuff in the business before we could hang out together. So that there's a lot of people working a lot harder instead of smarter. And for example, with my mom, it's not that she's not skilled enough. It's not that she doesn't have what it takes. Just that nobody has like taken the time to really show her how to do this. So that is why I decided like I want to empower people so they can really navigate this often perceived complicated world of investing. So we can free up more time to spend it where it matters the most. For me, that's with like family, and the parents means a lot. And my grandmothers as well, I have a great relationship with them. But also like having experiences, going traveling, spending with friends. So yeah, that is why I want to share and inspire others with this opportunity that we have.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. It's so powerful what you just shared. To, what you've seen around you and what you've learned from your dear parents. God bless them for putting you and your sister in this world and working so hard to make to make ends meet in that sense.
Mm,
I love how you bring them into this picture, just that the picture that you're creating for us, with the love there, and how much you've the big your heart well how big your heart is to actually have wished for more time together, right, with them, like
mm,
quality time on those moments, and
yeah.
how you actually wish that for all of your clients now too. And I think everybody can relate to that. And we got a beautiful comment. Hi Nino, thanks so much for being here. Not everyone can work smarter. We always need jobs for things that have to be done. Yes. And there's this mindset shift that sometimes is required for us to dare to go into investing, right? Nino points that out
Mm,
really well. Thank you for doing that.
yes. Thank you for the comment. Yes. Because on this journey as well, I know you want to dig into like a little bit like the background where I come from as well. I'm not sure if we should go there right now. Just based on the comment, there's been a lot of growth on this journey as well of having a business sharing. There is a lot of growth going on in order to make these shifts to tap into the opportunities that exist in the world.
Yes, thanks for saying that, and thanks for seeing and taking time to maybe we'll just go with the flow. So I have some questions for you coming up, but I'd love to kind of tap into what Nino says here. It might be a beautiful bridge to my next question, and what he points out is so true. Like, not everyone can work smarter. We always need jobs for things that have to be done, and well, at least generations before us, um, and sometimes ourselves, we find
Mm,
ourselves sometimes in situations where we feel there are no ways out, right? Or that we have to stay stuck in a certain job even if we don't
mm,
like it. Um,
mm.
and how can you find that today's topic, how to get clarity and confidence to make an income from investing, then if you know that other side as well. So what does today's topic mean to you? You shared already the meaning, right? But when it comes to the finding the confidence and to
Mm,
make that shift of mindset, to not, see, looking at Nino's comment, like
mm.
taking taking us a step back to how to find that confidence, and how did you find it? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, and regarding the comment that we all have to work, or not everyone can work smarter, there's always need for job. I really appreciate that comment, and I respect it. And over time as well, what I realized is that opportunity, which this is about tapping into the opportunity. And yeah, investing is a transfer of wealth, basically. And that is these opportunities. It's a transfer of wealth from those people that are prepared and know what's going on. Or it's actually from those people that don't know what's going on, who hasn't prepared themselves and don't know what's going on, to those that have prepared themselves, know the right details, and are, yeah, prepared by educating themselves and coming with that open mind and wanting to embrace what is going on and want to seek these opportunities. And I haven't been as open-minded like in the past, and I probably sometimes do have my some like narrow vision sometimes. So it's about broadening that. So that's been a huge thing for me. And I've been employed for many years, and I realized at some point that my need for growth and also for working more with people to serve and contribute was bigger than what I could have fulfilled in my position as an engineer. So that was yeah, at some point I realized, okay, I got to embrace new opportunities. And that led me on the journey of, yeah, it's part of that entrepreneurial journey that I embarked upon. In terms of investing especially, I want to share them, it's basically 5 pillars that people need to be aware of to master in order to become a profitable investor, to be able to have that clarity and to have that sustainability. So it's about educating ourselves to know exactly what to do and when to do that. So with investing, it's specifically like, what do you invest in? When do you invest? How much money do you invest? How do you do it? And not at least, how do you secure the profits? But the only money that matters is the money they get to keep. So it's that sustainability as well, to do it over and over again. So the 5 pillars in order to get to that point is, first and foremost, a strategy. That's the exact steps that tell you exactly what to do and when to do it. And the risk management is key, because it's about mastering low risk, high reward investments. And to build upon that, we have money management, because that is these things, getting really clear on what is our true risk tolerance. That is what's going to give the tolerance. When we know that, what is our true risk tolerance, that is going to give us the confidence that, hey, I'm actually doing the right thing for myself, and I'm willing to take this action because I know what that would mean to me and what's possible. 2 other very important pillars then to build upon this is to have time and patience, because there's no magic bullet, there is like no magic pill. It's a long-term game. And finally, it's having the mindset and psychology, because with the strategy, having the clear steps, we can take out the emotions. And it's about growing. You, Feline, probably as well as an entrepreneur, about, okay, helping people, and there is money involved in business. And then who are we growing into when it comes to dealing with money, and what are our beliefs around money? We could probably have an entire session on that too.
Yes, so true. I love it. And I love how you share the pillars, and also the questions that are so important to ask yourself, right? Right? That you, before you started with the pillars, you named a few. And they might seem simple, but could you repeat that one more time for people listening? Because it's so important. The questions, like,
Yes.
what do you invest in? But also how?
Yeah.
What are the others?
So the pillars is, first and foremost, strategy, risk management, money management, time and patience, and psychology and mindset.
Beautiful. And then there are some questions that you can ask yourself to get to those 5 pillars, right?
Yeah, so in terms of, to, especially with investing, and that encompasses all of them, with risk management, which is very big as well. So what I shared was like, it's all about knowing, what should I invest in? When should I invest? How much money should I invest? And not at least, like, how do you do it? Because we got to take action. And finally, how do you secure your profits? Because the only money that matters is the money you get to keep, which is a saying Tony Robbins has imprinted into my mind.
Yes, I love it. And thanks for also pointing out Tony Robbins. He's amazing. If you haven't never heard of anything that this man has put out in this world, go check out the series on Netflix called I Am Not Your Guru. Find his Live with Passion. Yes, find his many beautiful, there are apps, by the way, there are many beautiful books. There are also beautiful seminars and trainings that you can attend. And, that's a little gift from us here for you. If you have never heard of this man, go figure out how you can find more information. That's just in the middle of everything. Thanks so much for sharing your knowledge today, Joakim. Would it be okay if you take us with you a bit, like a few steps back, before the pillars, before being ready to take these steps? What did it take for you on your own entrepreneurial journey, or before even considering entrepreneurship, like you said, you worked as an engineer before. So maybe take us a bit into some of the low points or pain points that as all of us listening probably know ourselves, that you probably know yourself too. Like, what did you go through? What did you came from to find that confidence in yourself?
Thank you for the question. So I started out, I took my bachelor degree, got myself a job afterwards, the best job in the world at that time. And it was with a career plan. So I worked the first year, I got an advancement. And after 3 years, I was supposed to, that would mark the end of the career plan. However, it turned out that things changed, so I didn't get like that bonus after all. So at that point, I realized like I'm the only one that really cares about my future. That the employer, they can do kind of what they want. And that I was in a system that the overall system didn't really care about me. So I'm not expecting to have things served on a silver platter. However, I also didn't expect for people to just change things as it suits them the best along the journey. So that was a big eye-opener for me as well, in terms of kind of, start taking responsibility, that I need to be responsible for my life because I'm the only one that's going to care about that. So that kind of started to get, by that I started to get leverage on myself. And in my position as well, I start to feel that, okay, there are other things that are more valuable to me. So being in a job, it gives a lot of certainty. You have regular income, which is so comfortable. Like, you don't necessarily have to do much. Like, okay, I like to contribute, see results. So, okay, I'm there and I'm working. And then you have this regular income. It's so comfortable. You don't have, when clock is 4, like, you don't have to think so much anymore. You can go home. However, in this position, I start to feel like there is more to life. So with what happened, and I start to feel that this need to grow even more, learn more, expand more, serve more, work with people as opposed to with like so much technology, computers, network programming. Something for me like, okay, I need to do something else. So, and with Tony Robbins, we brought this up as well. So in the back of my mind, we knowing that this system overall, like, I can like easily be replaced. With that in mind, and with that quote that Tony Robbins shared, what really stuck with me is that in the moments of decision, that's when we get to shape our destiny. So I was realizing that, okay, I need to make a decision what I want in my life. So I quit my job to go full-time entrepreneur. And in hindsight, it's been the best decision in my life because it's been so much growth, especially in terms of this, okay, responsibility. Now I gotta be 100% responsible for what's happening, and becoming really clear on my values has really helped me on along this journey. So for example, from letting go, so to hold on so tight to that need for certainty, and replace that and valuing more the growth, the contribution, courage, and other values that is like the true me, like the free me that would be able to grow more into a person that can make more things happen, not just for myself, but also for people around me. Because another mentor of mine that I studied a lot, and it was Paul O'Mahony who brought up, it is on Judgment Day that you get to meet the person you could have become. And that's another thing that really stuck with me. So what challenges am I willing to take up upon, and who am I really willing to step into becoming? And it's something I experienced in my daily life as well. So it's like a habit, something I'm conditioning myself to become even better at, is with any kind of opportunity to embrace upon them and accept them. Because I know that the pain of the regret, to like afterwards feel the regret of that I didn't take up on a certain opportunity, that pain is much bigger than whatever it is, fear of rejection, fear of failure, whatever we call it. However, it's not about failing, it's about learning and growing. So there are these things with, okay, my values, and knowing that, okay, it's in the moments of decisions that I get to shape my destiny, knowing that, okay, in the end, I get to meet the person I could have become. So am I willing to learn and grow and get the experiences, as opposed to carrying the pain of regret? Because that regret is so much heavier to carry around, as opposed to getting this variety and these experiences. I get on this entrepreneurial journey now, meet so much more people, get to have a bigger impact, not just for myself, but for other people's lives as well. And yeah, with the friendships I get to build as well, that is, yeah, it's a much more fulfilling life these days, as opposed to in the past, boxing myself in and living like a smaller version of myself, limiting myself, because there's been so much focus on, yeah, what would other people think? What could go wrong? Am I capable of that? Am I good enough for that? And yeah, many of these questions that's not really serving anyone, especially not myself or people around me.
Yeah, thank you so much for elaborating on this, and for with this, I mean, on where you came from and what you've, you know, these, what you just said, what you thought, how you boxed yourself in at times, right? We know, we all know this, and I think listeners or people watching this, we even got a new question, by the way. I'll check it in a sec. But also, we can relate to this. I know I can. Let's go from there. I've done that for many years, and I just love how you are so open about this, Joakim, because it helps, yeah, others, but also especially for me to kind of relate and understand you on that level too, right? It takes going through some really deep lows in order to understand what decision to make, and from there create those highs for yourself, right? And I say create because I now believe, I might not have when I was in the lows, but I now believe that like you just said, it's in the moments of decision that you create your destiny. So that also means that once you decide to not stay in the low because you're so fed up with it, or you're so hurt, or your pain is just too heavy to carry any longer. For me, at least in my life, those were the moments I had to be so done with it to get myself angry enough to make a change. And I don't know, for some people that is pain, or that is pleasure, or something else that motivates or drives them, right? In my case, it was pain and having to be fed up with it. And that's when you can actually create from that decision to make a change and wanting it different. That's where you too can create the future that you want, right? And where you can make those changes and create a life that you feel is worth living.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you for going there. And thanks everybody that helped on Spiritual Federation. Thank you, Relly Grand, Mundos Estrella. Thank you so much for being here. And Nino shared something beautiful. Nino Wilson Music. Are you both a capitalist, maybe a catalyst, or a capitalist? That could also be the one. And what do you think about business that are pitching each other from high to low? What does this say to you? What do you think?
Yeah, so if it's the capitalist, and okay, what do we think of businesses pitching each other from high to low? Yeah, being in business is all about serving people. It's about solving a problem, providing value. Because for me, the best feeling So you, Feline, you talked about, okay, the highs and the lows we can go through on whether that's an entrepreneurial journey in personal life, in health, relationships, whatever. For me, the highs are when I get to see success in other people. So I'm here with Feline as well because I know how much she cares about other people's success, and we do share that. So if I can refer Feline out, I know that the person who needs help building their business, they're gonna be taken good care of. They are in safe hands. So because I know the person, their values, what they stand for, I know that it would be good to refer her out. And that is what it's all about for me in terms of when it comes to referring other businesses out. Based on how I know Feline, I can see you're nodding. You can relate to this. I'm not sure if you want to add anything to that.
Thanks so much for saying that, dear Joakim. I love that. And yeah, I'm grateful for hearing that. I mean, that's a beautiful gift that you just shared with me, and also for people listening. And I'm nodding because I hear you, and I'm trying to kind of understand what is my view then on that question, right? Like, am I a capitalist? And what do I think about business and businesses pitching each other from high to low? It sounds interesting the way the question is put. Just figuring out the question, if I understand it. Like, am I a capitalist? That's one question. It's a steered question, right? It's not an open question. An open question starts with what, how, when, why. Am I a capitalist is a pretty directed question, often based from something that I might perceive before I know the answer, perceive as the truth. So my first answer to your question would be, are you now putting a perceived truth on me, saying that I might be a capitalist, or are you seeing any other options? And what would then be your question? That's one question to you, Nino. And the second one is, what do I think about business pitching each other from high to low? Well, you might have just seen Joakim in action giving me a compliment. And what I think about this, your question is stated in a way that businesses are pitched from high to low. And what I think about it is for me, it's not that way. As a business consultant, I call myself a soulful business consultant, but I have a background as a therapist too. So I actually work the other way around, and I always pitch each other from low to high. And that's actually what I felt Joakim do just now. And I really love that, because then when people are working on the low first, working on foundations, in my case, I love to help people prioritize health while building their businesses. So for myself, if I speak for myself, I strongly feel about soulful business, making sure that it's aligned with soul, with heart, and that you have a foundation that you can build on for your whole life and for the next generations to come, for your children too, or siblings, children from your siblings if you don't have children yourself. But in that way, I believe it's the other way around, and I hope that this answers your question, Nino. And if you have any other questions, please go ahead and ask.
Yeah, I can see he comments also, it's about the passion for your business, right? Yeah, and I seen this, the people who has the most passion, definitely Nina Wilson, the people who has the most passion, yeah, those people usually cares the most as well, and will take the most care of their people that they have in their business.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and from there on, some people might have these preconceived fears as well, or things that we've seen, or the word business can sometimes be triggering, right, for emotions that are uncomfortable, or situations that if I would see myself doing business, that might trigger some old beliefs that make me insecure about it, or think that business is something that cannot be done with heart, right? We've learned that from previous, let's say, ancestors. Sometimes too, we've seen all types of flavors when it comes to business. And what I actually believe that when I see you doing that too, Joakim, and I hope that you can comment on this. Business can be done with heart, and it can be something light and airy and beautiful when you have the right foundation built. And that also means like foundation in our personal development. And then it can be something beautiful. And I even believe now, I used to be a bit scared about it myself, let's just be honest. When I studied international business management, I got a bit scared when it came to marketing being necessary for business. And I thought back then that it wasn't something ethical, or that, you know, I was sensitive to that side too. And now, having been trained and having had beautiful coaches and people helping me here to get to this place, I now believe that it's your obligation to do business and to do marketing and to do everything that is needed. If you have something that can help others heal, that can help others live a life of freedom, it's your obligation to do that. I now believe that, but I came from that other place where I feared it. What are your thoughts on that, Joakim?
Definitely. You talked earlier about pain and pleasure as motivators. And yes, pain will get us moving in the moment. And in order to sustain a change and to keep on the trajectory and keeping up with doing something, needs to come from a place of having a pleasure, going for a pleasure. And the same is then with, okay, running a business. Because, okay, I could run the business because I need an income right now, or I need to do that or that with some kind of pain, or a situation that needs to be changed right now. However, if I'm going to be in a business for a longer time, there must be something more fulfilling, kind of like a pleasure that is keeping me on the trajectory on wanting to do this. Let's come back to your question with the passion in the business, Nina Wilson, as well, that, yeah, when it comes from the heart, serving, the passion, the pleasure, yeah, then business can be something solid, because you really want to help people when your values are aligned with that of serving, contributing, to have an impact for the better in your life, for people around you, and for the people you're serving.
I love it. Thank you so much. And I see a new question from you, Nino. I love how much you're here and how you're showing up and asking your questions. I love it so much. I'll try to wave your next question here into and your beautiful comment. Thanks so much for sharing. I'll try to wave it into the next question I have for Joakim, and we'll try to put it all together. Okay, so bear with us. We're going to answer it. I wanted to ask you, Joakim, what would you say defines your soul purpose now compared to what you used to think it was?
Yeah, I'm not sure if my soul had any clear purpose in the past, other than pursuing things in the moment I was there and then. And going through a lot of, exploring a lot in terms of my values, studying people that are massively more successful than myself. And that means in like many areas of life. For example, health, relationships, business as well. But it's not just in terms of, many think money when they hear success, but it comes in any area of life. Mm-hmm. So the purpose now, I define it really clear for myself, is that the purpose of my life right now is to give love and appreciation, enjoy a beautiful state, and do acts of positive good for myself and others. That is something I have the opportunity to look at every day, because I have it on the wall here in my room.
I love it. Thanks so much for sharing that, and thank you for being so honest on the journey too. Right, there are moments where we might be closed off a bit to what our soul's purpose is here on this earth, and it can be such a journey to figure out what it is then. And when you finally
Yeah.
get there, it can be really heartwarming and kind of mind-opening again. And sometimes it takes us years to get there. So for
Yeah.
everybody watching and listening, no worries if you haven't figured it out yet. It will get to you, and sometimes it's just part of your journey to not know it for a while, to be of the best possible service and have the best possible clarity. It's often part of, as I believe it, like part of on this earthly life or this human life that we as a soul sometimes choose for to live, right? And it can take us, sometimes you get that clarity at 10 years old or 5 years old, but sometimes it takes us maybe 30, 40, 50 years, and that's okay. It really is okay. And what I just want to wave Nino's next beautiful comments into this is, he asked, what do you think about selling good things and bad things? I myself worked in marketing, and for 3 years there I learned to manipulate people and just selling in that business. It's about making sales. My mom and friend worked in care and a total other business. And it's not about your destination, it's about the journey. I love that. And I love your comments so much. So why I asked Joakim this question about soul purpose is also because of that first thing you said there. Yeah.
Yeah, and can I add a distinction to that in terms of it's not about the destination, but it's about the journey, which builds perfectly. And so that comment from Nina Wilson builds perfectly on what you said, Feline. And yes, wherever you are, you who listen, wherever you are in the exact spot where you're supposed to be. So you give yourself some grace as well where you are. And for those that have a purpose in life, and whether you have like a vision statement, a distinction I would like to share for you to take it even to the next level is also to look at the wording you have in there. So I started off with that. So parts of this was for the parts of my purpose was to experience love and appreciation. And I was looking into this and sitting down reflecting. And what came to me, I still wonder, like, how did it come to me? But what if I changed it to give love and appreciation? If I try that on, and it's like it tastes so differently. It's a massive shift on what it means.
I love that so much. And yeah, thanks for pointing that out, because it can be so important to even broaden that experience. If we give, we get even more, right? And it's not about the getting, it's about the giving. And if you change the verb from getting to receiving, you can feel the difference in that, right? It's so much softer suddenly. And
Yeah.
And the same goes for what you just said, Nino, there. I learned to manipulate people and just selling. It could be for some businesses, if the mission is not clear somehow, or if we went through a painful situation making that sale, it can feel like manipulation, and that word sets the tone immediately. And this is what I used to be sensitive about too when I studied international business, fear and marketing at some point. So I love how you point that out. It is what made the shift, like you just said, Joakim, to kind of grow yourself as a person, do that personal development, to find out what your biggest fears are, find out where have I been manipulated, but also where have I manipulated others. It is part of that journey to sink into that feeling and to understand it, and to then shift it, going from the more painful side of it into the more light of it, in that sense, to understand that when you do sales from the heart, it is not manipulation. That word doesn't fit for me. It is really helping someone.
Mm-hmm.
You're serving someone to get to a place from pain, to get to a place of pleasure, or just more lightheartedness. And yes, sorry if I go through just one more thing. There is, you just mentioned the beauty of people working in healthcare, for example, and it can feel different as business. But just to add there, I used to work in hospitals too, as a therapist, children's hospitals, and I can tell you, hospitals are businesses too, and big ones. And it is, there too, you have the choice. Do I, what approach do I make here? Because if you work in a hospital, you're actually selling your services as well, and you just have a choice. In what way do I love to do it? And if I do it, can I still do it from the heart? That's one question I have for you. That was it for now. For you, Nino.
It's beautiful, Feline. It's all about the intention. Because whether we want to do something to make people feel, or whether we do it to gain something for ourselves or to make someone feel good, like, yeah, just giving a compliment, it would change the state in someone, which is basically like manipulation. However, my hallucination is someone who gives a compliment, it comes from a good place. Even though it results in the person changing their state, hopefully they become more happy. And yes, we can say, okay, I manipulated the person. So the question is really, what is the intention behind it? Which is what you touched upon, Feline. Coming from the heart there is what's going to be serving the most.
Yes, I love it. And thank you, Nino, saying beautiful said. Yes, and thank you everyone else that hopped on in the meanwhile. Dimfi, thank you for being here. Abby, Hilo, Jan, yes, all of you here, grateful that you're here. We are, we have a couple of minutes left, and I just want to make sure that you get everything, that we get to be of service to you as well, Joakim, here. We, meaning my beautiful team that you don't see or hear in this video, but that are here to make everything happen. Thank you, dear team, because if it wasn't for you, this wouldn't exist.
I know the importance of that. We have a team at Catching Secrets as well. And yes, if as entrepreneurs, if we want to scale up in order to serve more people as well, like there's a lot of things happening in the back end, and we can have an impact there as well, and building a team and helping others people on the back end as well, and that community feeling as well. So I know the impact it has. Like I wouldn't been able to do all of the stuff that I'm doing without my team. So I know the importance of those people you have on your end as well, supporting you. Yes. So thank you.
Thank you, dear team. Shout out to all of you. And thank you, Joakim, for your time and your beautiful comments and support here, to both our audiences too. I'd love to ask you, before we maybe dive into some tools and resources that might be helpful for the listeners, and also I'd love to give you the stage in that sense if you have an exercise or an idea that would be helpful. And I would love to ask you at the end just 2 more questions, and to also ask where people can find you. But before we go there, what would be your biggest insight of this past 5 years that really helped you implement this new version of you here in life? And yeah, what has been your biggest insight in these past years, most recently?
It is it's the saying, the combination from Tony Robbins and Paul O'Mahony with first, okay, it is in moments of decision that our destiny is shaped, and on Judgment Day, we get to meet the person we could have become. And what that means to me is being responsible. Because coming out from, I've been so used to having regular income, getting paid on the same date, and having that, yeah, it's like a comfortable life. From then transitioning into, okay, I gotta be 100% responsible, which means, okay, I gotta be clear on what is my purpose in life? Who do I want to show up as in any moment? What are my values? What am I gonna bring? What challenges do I want to embrace upon? Or it's like I get to, and that's another like magical shift, that we don't have to do anything, but we get to have all of these experiences. So really being more clear on who do I want to be in my life, that is like that shift, and being then comfortable with who I am. Initially, I share, like we talked about, okay, I've been boxing myself in, not like really living the life that I found the most purposeful, and having all this, beating myself up with all these questions. Yeah, do I deserve that? Am I good enough for this? So just also giving oneself grace and appreciation, understanding that something else we mentioned earlier, wherever you are right now in your life, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and giving yourself that room to breathe and love yourself for who you are right now. That's been some game changers for me on my journey.
Wow, thank you so much for pointing those out. Those are big ones, to love ourselves. That can be like a whole life's journey there. And
I felt it was touching talking about some of these things, because it can be hard to see like what kind of changes or what you might believe is possible in a year's time. However, when we look at it over a longer time span, it's truly magnificent what changes is possible, and the impact you can have in not just your own life, but for people around you as well.
yes, yes, so true. And would it be okay for you if you take us maybe in some ideas on exercises that could help, when it also comes to your coaching secrets? You shared, of course, your beautiful 5 pillars. But what is there anything that you teach people that you'd say that would be a beautiful exercise that you could do just right now, or a tool or a resource that is, that helps your clients as well?
Yeah, so in order to close the gap from where you are right now to where you want to be financially, we got to know where you are right now. Because if you know where you are right now, and if you know where you want to be, we can create a map to close that gap. So start out with getting clarity on where you are right now. And that's also going to help you understanding what your true risk tolerance is, which is going to help you accelerate your journey financially. And the money, the financial journey, is just a vehicle to support other areas of life. What is the purpose with all this money if you don't get to have experiences, if you don't give back, if you don't share it and have an impact on other people and enjoy and having a fulfilled life? So in the end, it's not just about the money. However, that's what we like teach, that, okay, how do you master this area of your life so you can have a bigger impact in the other areas? So get clear on where are you right now. That means like, okay, how much do you earn? What are your costs? And where is your spending going? Because then you can get started into the routine of saving for the purpose of investing. We're not saving for saving, because there is something known as inflation, which is prices in society is going up. And that means, and this price increase is higher than the interest you get on your savings. So the only way to deal with this, to thrive in today's economy, is to invest your money. So get clear on, where are you financially? right now. Get clear on how much can you set aside. Have a money management system around that. For example, open a dedicated account where you can put an amount. And the thing is, this habit of setting aside money on a regular basis is much more important than the amount itself. So it's that habit, building that muscle, training ourselves, conditioning yourself, whatever you want to call it. So getting into that routine, that habit, so you can start building a portfolio because you set aside money on a regular basis. You know what you can afford yourself to set aside on a longer term basis and let that money work for you. Because then, yeah, you're going to invest it, let the money grow, let the money work for you. So you eventually can focus on what really matters in your life. That is what that is the very beginning to help people accelerate the journey on their financial journey.
Yes, thanks so much for sharing that. It's so important, and it can be a painful thing to really accept where we are right now. Sometimes, right? That is already. Sorry, what do you?
Yeah. Yeah, just to build upon that, the truth will set you free. So be honest with yourself. Where are you right now?
Yes. So from there on, you can take those steps, and build the habits needed to set aside that money, to find ways where you can grow that money, and educate yourself on that. And I love so much what you shared about that, Joakim. And where people can learn that is with you and your beautiful team. Right?
Yeah. So to answer our question here as well, is that, we empower people with the confidence and skill set so they can manage their own investments. So that is currently about investing in stocks and crypto, and to use those as vehicles to grow your income.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And the question is, do you do investments, or do you help people starting a business? So you just shared how you do it, right, Joakim? I think it's beautiful. And you do beautiful work, and you do it very much hard-paced, as I can say from experience. Working with you is such a blessing and pleasure to kind of co-create and walk alongside you with your beautiful leadership. So I'd say everybody listening or watching, go ahead and check out Joakim's beautiful work. Where can people find you, Joakim?
So they can look me up on if you're on Facebook or Instagram, which we're currently doing this on. Send me a DM. I'm also on LinkedIn, so you will have my name. It's Joakim Walstad, Walstad. And you can also go to our company webpage, catchingsecrets.com, one word. So that is KATCHING, secrets.com. So catchingsecrets.com. And if you want as well, you can register there, click through, and we can also have a chat one-to-one if you want. And that is possible by going to our webpage, register, and click through, and we can find a time that's convenient if you guys want to chat about how we can support and guide you on your journey.
I love that. I love it so much. And we'll make sure that we'll put your information, of course, in the show notes, also beneath the podcast once it's out. And people can find you there as well, or reach our team, and we'll forward you, of course. This last question, do you do investments, or do you help people starting a business? I just wanted to add there for myself. I love your question. Thank you so much, Nino. My team and I, we do both. So we help people starting a business. Our business, or our website, is called soulfulbusinesscreation.com. And this is where you can find us for one-on-one mentoring and consulting programs, but also for our online course. And next to that, so the business is one asset that we're building, right? That's one investment that we keep on building and making better. But then there are also other types of investments, like Joakim just shared, right? That you can build other investment or income streams with. And that is how we approach it. And Joakim already shared it before. Like it's good to diversify and create several streams to make sure that you approach the financial market and the financial situations in the world right now in a way where you can take the lead and make sure that you don't have to be in that box, but that you can kind of expand your box and build your own wealth and learn to thrive. Do you want to add anything there, Joakim? I know that you have a beautiful online course where people can follow your beautiful investment advice or investment instructions and teachings. What is your course about?
Thank you for asking. And first and foremost, as you mentioned, diversifying, which means, yeah, do not put all your eggs in the same basket. It's key. Business is one vehicle, and yeah, it's helped me fulfill many of needs to grow and serve and expand. And in terms of investing, what we do is we give people clarity. How can you create your own portfolio investments so you can create an income from that? So that would mean getting absolutely clear on what you can invest in, when you invest in that, how much should you invest, how do you do it, and also how do you secure your profits. So having very clear guidelines, a step-by-step strategy. So being really clear for yourself to how to do this so that you're able to do it over and over again. Our goal is to make people independent. So we never touch the money that people are going to invest in their own portfolio. This is about providing that confidence and the skills so people can do this for themselves for the entire their lifetime, and also if they want to pass it on for generations as well.
It's so beautiful. I'm so grateful for your beautiful work and for sharing what it is that people can do to find you and also to work with you. So you've already shared where people can find you. Could you maybe one more time share your website?
Yes. So you find us at catchingsecrets.com. So that is KATCHING, catchingsecrets.com, one word. So look us up, on our webpage or in social media.
I love that. And just to round today's talk and life class off, I'd love to ask you one last question, and that is, if you, oh yeah, sorry, what do you want to say? Oh, you did
virtual drum roll.
Yeah, right, virtual drum roll. What is it that if I would ask you, like, if you were to, you keep on building your beautiful business and just imagine that you have built everything you wanted, you have the most amazing life, and you've found success on all aspects and all areas, right? On health, on relationships, on business, on money, on maybe doing sports on the side, on everything that you can think of. What would be what you wanted to leave as a legacy in that sense? What would be something that you would teach others? If you would imagine yourself having had that life, what would it be that you'd like to have others remember about you and think that is most important to share for their lives?
Thank you for that very powerful question. It's based on this seeing success in other people and just being like a force for good for others. So like, I know Tony Robbins' mission is like end suffering in the world. And I know for myself, like learning more about and being able to coach people as well and seeing like the impact personal development have had on my life. So then in order to just being able to be there for people so they can live their life at their fullest, following their passions, yeah, I know that would make me like the most fulfilled as well. So then, yeah, working with people or in some way make sure that I can help on this mission of bringing more joy and happiness and appreciation into the world in some way. That would be something I would like to pursue when all other things are checked off and life is at the most outstanding level that it can be.
I love that so much, and I appreciate you for appreciate you for walking this path and building life that way, and for sharing your light and sharing your knowledge and helping all the people that or all the lives that you get to touch to implement that personal development and touch other lives around them again. Um,
Mm.
Thank you so much for sharing that and for being here. Is there anything that you'd like to end today's talk with, or something that you'd like to share before we go?
Get clear on, for those who are listening, get clear on what your values are. Who do you really want to be in your life? Not just for yourself, but for the people around you, so that you can live the life to the fullest for yourself and those people that matter the most to you, which means you will most likely as well open and broaden up to even more challenges and things that you can step into in becoming and learning, growing, sharing, and serving to, yeah, to live life at the highest possible level for yourself, whatever that means to you, to get clear on that. Because life is much more exciting when we step out of the box or the comfort zone that in many cases can limit us.
Oh, I love that. Yes, I don't have anything to add to that today. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everybody here, being here, watching, listening. Thanks so much for your questions and your comments. And thank you again, Joakim, for the beautiful light that you share and the beautiful leadership that you spread as the example that you kind of set out here on Earth. And I hope to see and talk to you soon, of course. And thank you for today. Have a beautiful evening, or wherever you are in the world, rest of your day. And thank you, Nino. Thanks for the video. You're so welcome. I'm grateful for all of you being here, and it has been a pleasure to may serve you, and we will keep on doing that. So see you soon.
Stay happy, stay safe, guys.
Yes. Bye.